Wake up and you'll find that the global IQ is dropped by 1,000 times. The once universally known 99 multiplication table has become the world's most difficult math problem. What I meant was for you to rest assured and pursue further studies. I will take care of things here. The principal snorted. Humph, I don't think you dare to have such thoughts. Then the principal looked at Qin Feng again. Qin Feng, you must give it your all in this competition. Your future will definitely go further than mine. Qin Feng nodded slowly. Principal, may I ask how much is the championship prize money? Upon hearing this, Principal Ma almost fainted. Principal Ma helplessly said, this child, will never get over your obsession with prize money, will you? The principal smiled slightly. The championship prize money is 100,000. The city also awards an additional 50,000. I will give you another 10,000 as a reward. Qin Feng nodded in satisfaction. Principal Ma's jaw almost dropped. Principal, you, as the principal, are only giving 10,000? The principal became angry. For so many years, I have been covering all kinds of expenses for the school myself. My salary is only 3,000 yuan a month. Don't you know that? The principal nodded and bowed. Yes, I misspoke again. The principal waved his hand. I will be leaving next year, and I will leave everything here to you. Then he looked at Qin Feng again. You must come back with a ranking. Qin Feng smiled and nodded. Principal, we won't disturb you anymore. It's getting late, so please rest assured and go. By the time you come back, Nanshan Elementary School might have become one of the top schools. Principal Ma smiled slowly at the principal. The principal nodded in satisfaction. I have been away for so many years, and I have burdened you, Principal Ma. Tears welled up in Principal Ma's eyes. Principal, rest assured, today you give me Nanshan Elementary School, and in the future, I will give you Nanshan University. Saying that, he hugged the principal and burst into tears. Qin Feng helplessly shook his head. Principal Ma, are you leaving or not? Principal Ma finally let go of the principal's hand. Principal, please rest well. We will leave now. Qin Feng said to the principal. The principal nodded in satisfaction. Your future is limitless. In this competition, you must give it your all. Qin Feng nodded again and pulled Principal Ma away. Downstairs, Principal Ma's emotions still hadn't calmed down. Qin Feng sighed. Principal Ma, it's not like we're saying goodbye forever. Principal Ma held back his tears. What do you know? The principal has high hopes for us. We must not disappoint the principal. Qin Feng nodded helplessly. Principal Ma looked at Qin Feng. Although you are already very talented, this city competition is really different from the previous ones. You must not take it lightly. Qin Feng nodded helplessly once again. Director Ma, the competition is in 10 days, you must review seriously. Qin Feng became impatient. Hurry up and leave. Director Ma glanced at Qin Feng and took him to the car. The two drove home. They arrived home quickly. Qin Feng arrived home almost at 11 o'clock, quickly freshened up and went to bed. The next morning, he woke up early and went to school. As soon as he arrived in the classroom, he saw Yanwei, glaring at Qin Feng fiercely. Qin Feng didn't care and walked slowly to his seat. Lu Yi hadn't arrived in the classroom yet. Without Yanwei coming to provoke him, Qin Feng felt a bit bored. The bell for class rang quickly. Lu Yi still hadn't arrived. Qin Feng felt a bit puzzled, but didn't pay much attention. Class ended quickly, and Qin Feng rushed home. He quickly dealt with the messages on QQ. The most frequent messages were still the arguments in the group. The girl who picks mushrooms said, today, in the calculation room, the fox demon gambling god is challenging the 4th graders. Do your so-called score gods dare? The girl selling matches said, what nonsense, score god, tonight we'll see the fox demon gambling god. Today, it's all people from the fox demon gambling god side. Where are the score gods people? Why aren't they saying anything? Qin Feng shook his head and stopped paying attention, quickly finished the remaining work, and sent it over in a moment. He made some money again. Qin Feng looked at his balance and laughed heartily. Then he got up, put on the fox demon mask, and went out. As soon as he arrived at the entrance of the calculation room, a large group of girls surrounded him. Obviously, there were even more than yesterday. The fox demon male god is here. Everyone, look! Fox demon gambling god. I love you. Wow! Fox demon gambling god. Fox demon gambling god. You finally came. I love you. I love you. Qin Feng was instantly surrounded by a group of fangirls. Qin Feng helplessly shook his head. Let me go to the competition, ladies. You're blocking the way for our fox demon gambling god. Wow, even the way he speaks is so handsome, it's my luck. So handsome. I love him. The way he speaks is super cool, and his voice is nice too. Qin Feng was instantly speechless. Make way. Just then, a sharp voice suddenly sounded. Everyone's gaze turned towards the person who spoke. Standing there was a man wearing a uniform, with a strong physique, a bronze complexion, distinct and deep facial features, like a Greek sculpture. His dark and deep eyes appeared wild and alluring. His three-dimensional features were beautifully carved, and he exuded an aura of a world-shaking king. "Who are you?" "Yeah, who are you?" The man looked at the group of fangirls and slowly spoke. "I am the head of security here. Your presence has seriously affected the normal operation of our calculation room. Please don't block the entrance. How can others come in?" After the man finished speaking with a serious expression, Xin Feng's group of fangirls couldn't take it anymore. "So you're just a security guard? I thought you were someone important." "Exactly, a small security guard dares to stop us. Don't you know how much economic value we bring to you?" Xin Feng's group of fangirls eagerly looked at the captain of the security team in front of them. The man seemed a bit angry, looked at these unreasonable women, and finally turned his gaze to Qin Feng. Then he looked Qin Feng up and down. "You're the one who claimed to challenge the fourth graders today?" Qin Feng finally looked up. "So what?" Hee, a wet behind the ears first grade student actually wants to challenge the fourth graders. "Do you think fourth grade is child's play?" Qin Feng helplessly said. "Which grade 1 challenge doesn't seem to be your concern, right?" "Exactly, if someone wants to challenge a certain grade, it's their business. What does it have to do with you? You're just a security guard, and you dare to mock people? Just a captain of the security team, do you even know what 1 + 1 equals? Xin Feng's group of fangirls were not to be trifled with, and they all started to argue with the captain of the security team. The captain of the security team was a little angry, his eyes swept around, and finally looked at Qin Feng. "Are you only good at hiding behind women?" Qin Feng smiled helplessly. "Do you have a woman to hide behind?" "You." The captain of the security team blushed, for a moment not knowing how to retort. Suddenly, a crisp voice came from nearby. It was none other than Xing Jia. Xing Jia was wearing a tight black leather dress today, with a mature and voluptuous figure, exuding the charm that only mature women possess. Her 2 round hills on her chest swayed as she walked. Stepping on red high heels, she smiled and walked towards Qin Feng, radiating charm from her eyebrows and eyes. Xing Jia. Qin Feng was a little distracted. Heroes have always loved beautiful women, and even though Qin Feng was a genius, he couldn't help but be captivated. "Fei Long, what are you doing here?" Xing Jia looked around and was surprised when she saw the captain of the security team. "Xing Jia, this man brought so many women and blocked our passage, so I naturally came to take care of it." Fei Long, the captain of the security team, stared at Xing Jia without blinking until she called out his name, and then he slowly regained his senses and spoke. Xing Jia looked at the girls around her and then at Qin Feng. She smiled and said to the girls, "Little sisters, you're blocking the entrance, our customers can't come in. How about this? I'll arrange for you to sit in a private room. Your gambling god will be in there soon, okay?" The fangirl standing behind Qin Feng hesitated for a moment, then quickly nodded in agreement. "Gambling god, we'll wait for you inside. Beautiful sister speaks so nicely, not at all like this big toad." The girl looked at Fei Long, the captain of the security team, after speaking. Fei Long's face turned red, and if you looked closely, you could see red energy surging on the internet. "Toad? Who are you calling a toad?" Fei Long stared fiercely at the girl. The girl seemed a little scared and hid behind Qin Feng. Fei Long's fierce gaze turned to Qin Feng. "I'm in the 4th grade. Do you dare to challenge me? I can't stand men who hide behind women." Qin Feng helplessly said, "Whatever." Fei Long became even angrier. "Don't think you're all that just because you have some women. The 4th grade is not as weak as you think. That's enough." Xing Jia shouted loudly. "Fei Long, as a staff member, how can you argue with a customer?" Xing Jia looked at Fei Long with some anger. "Xing Jia, he looks down on people too much." Fei Long looked at Xing Jia with a bit of grievance. "I'll compete with you." Qin Feng suddenly spoke up. "Good kid. You have some backbone." Fei Long was also surprised by Qin Feng's easy acceptance, but thinking about Qin Feng's proud look and the pleasure of defeating him, a smile couldn't help but appear in his eyes. I told you, the 4th grade is not in the same league as you." Xing Jia was angry and looked at Qin Feng with resentment. Qin Feng said, "Don't worry, can you help me change some tokens?" Xing Jia angrily looked at Qin Feng. "I told you it's not allowed. You can't mess with the 4th grade." Fei Long laughed loudly. "Did you hear that? The 4th grade is not something you can provoke. For Qin Jia's sake, you can still back out now, but you won't be able to later." Qin Feng nodded. Qin Feng naturally knew that Xing Jia had repeatedly advised him for his own sake. Xing Jia said, "The starting point for the 4th grade is 1,500, are you sure you want to challenge?" Qin Feng nodded. Xing Jia's last trace of hope fell. "I really can't persuade you, do as you please." After speaking, she went to help Qin Feng change the tokens. The dragon laughed loudly and said, haha, interesting. You dare to challenge the 4th grade in 1 year. I'm looking forward to it. The Fox Demon Gambling God is awesome. I love you, Fox Demon Gambling God. The Fox Demon Gambling God will definitely succeed. I admire you so much. The little fangirls behind Xin Feng looked at him with admiration. Xin Feng shook his head helplessly. Although being admired by others felt good, it wasn't as great as he imagined. No wonder celebrities hate paparazzi so much. Xin Feng smiled and said, you go to the private room and wait for me. I'll be there soon. Yes, the Fox Demon Gambling God has spoken. Sisters, the Fox Demon Gambling God has given orders, let's go first. He'll be here soon, why does it feel? What are you thinking? Let's go. Fox Demon Master, we'll wait for you there. The group of people walked towards the private room. The surroundings instantly became much quieter. Flying Dragon saw that these unreasonable women actually listened to Qin Feng's words, and his envy and jealousy became even more apparent on his face. Flying Dragon said, if only it was like this earlier, I wouldn't have to compete with a 1st grader. To be honest, I regret competing with you, not because I'm afraid of you winning, but because I'm afraid of you losing. Flying Dragon paused and continued, a 4th grader bullying a 1st grader, even though I will definitely win, it's not honorable. Don't worry, I won't make you lose too badly later. After all, you're our customer. Xin Feng listened to Flying Dragon's long speech and felt speechless. You can use all your strength, but I won't let you lose too badly. What? I lose? Are you crazy, kid? Flying Dragon's face showed shock. He didn't expect a small 1st grader to say such arrogant words. Xin Feng helplessly said, otherwise, how do you think I got so many female fans? Flying Dragon's face twitched. Do you think I care about those few fans who only stand behind women? Xin Feng smiled and said, you've never experienced the feeling of leaping through a sea of flowers, huh? Jealousy was clearly visible on Flying Dragon's face, but he still pretended to be calm. After I win against you, not just a few, a group of girls will pursue me. Xin Feng smiled helplessly. Flying Dragon said, let's see how long you can be proud. With that, Qingjie slowly walked over and handed the gambling coins and a card back to Qin Feng. Qingjie stared at Qin Feng and said with concern, are you sure you want to challenge the 4th grade? Qin Feng nodded again. Seeing this, Qingjie nodded and said, you're on your own. Then she gave the gambling coins to Qin Feng and left. Qin Feng was very puzzled. Why was Qingjie so angry? The dragon laughed loudly and said, do you like her? She's the most beautiful girl here. Are you worthy of her? Qin Feng helplessly said, let's start the competition. The dragon laughed loudly and said, don't worry, I'll go easy on you. After all, your brain is not enough. How can I compete with someone who doesn't have enough brain power? Qin Feng waved his hand and walked towards the 4th grade private room. The dragon followed closely behind, laughing loudly. As soon as Qin Feng entered the room, his phone kept ringing. Qin Feng saw that it was an unfamiliar number. He didn't want to answer it at first, but he was afraid that something might be wrong, so he finally answered it. Hello? Qin Feng, it's me. Qin Feng looked confused and asked, who are you? How can you not remember me again? Didn't you save my number? A gentle voice with a hint of anger came from the other end of the phone. Qin Feng asked in confusion, I'm sorry, I don't have the habit of saving numbers. Who are you? I'm Tang Zi.